Hey everyone, it's Matt from Train Sim Society and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. So the Dovetail team is just throwing them straight at us lately, aren't they? They're definitely giving us no time to breathe. On Wednesday, we got our coming soon article for Birmingham to Crew. Then Thursday, probably one of the biggest roadmaps I feel like we've seen in a long time. Absolutely packed with details. I'm so excited for the Class 90. Then Thursday afternoon, we had the full roadmap stream, and now Friday morning, we have a brand new patch. So this is our second patch for TSW6 following the day one patch, which in my opinion was much needed, but didn't fix a lot of the core problems under the hood. Thankfully, this new patch tackles even more issues, and more patches beyond this are confirmed and on the way. So let's go through all of this here. They write, "Hello everyone, our second TSW6 patch is now live. This update focuses on some of the higher reported community issues that were raised to us over the initial TSW6 launch period, including fixes for the Riviera Line's missing water textures, breaking issues on the Class 220, and tweaks made to train faults." Oh my gosh, that makes me so very happy. It's no surprise that train faults are happening way too frequently, especially on that Voyager. I feel like the engine stalls like every 2 business minutes. It's a little bit crazy and excessive, but it's sounding like that is fixed here. They continue, "As always, we appreciate your feedback on the dedicated feedback threads in the forums or in our feedback section on Discord. We will be continuing to monitor these spaces and raise issues with our dev team. We'll also be focusing on improvements for previous TSW add-ons in future, such as the long-awaited Class 158 timetable for 5 Circle and adding announcements and the Voyager to Manchester Airport commuter, both of which were covered in the roadmap stream last night." So here's our list of core fixes. They added PZB to German temporary speed restrictions and added AWS to UK temporary speed restrictions. They improved temporary speed restrictions so they no longer appear on stations and junctions. I've actually never had that happen. I'm pretty sure all of mine haven't ever occurred at platforms. That's so weird. Fixed an issue causing train faults to occur despite being switched off in the settings menu. Definitely a victim of that. Fixed an issue causing temporary speed restrictions to appear backwards. Definitely saw that. Most recently this morning on my Pacer run on Blackpool branches. Fixed an issue causing temporary speed restrictions to appear on routes that do not have them implemented. No, I kind of like that. Maybe that is a thing they're going to do in the future, because I got one on Blackpool branches last night and it made me so happy. No, it wasn't done correctly, but I was happy to see it at least be there. Fixed an issue causing temporary speed restrictions to not appear when starting on foot. Fixed train fault UI so it appears every time a fault is triggered. Fixed an issue causing temporary speed restrictions to not appear when starting a second or third service in the same session. Removed an Xbox sign-in prompt which was appearing on PS5, and various UI improvements. So for the Riviera Line Exeter to Plymouth and Paignton, they fixed the missing C textures at Dawlish, fixed the missing service names for Journey Mode on Xbox One and PS4, fixed a missing fence panel at Dawlish and had previously been cut off, fixed an incorrect duration showing for from the beaches to banks scenario, fixed an issue causing the signaler objective to fail when using the controller shortcut button during the wave wall rescue scenario, fixed the smart marker for wave wall rescue at Lara Depot, and fixed the hard hat collectibles at Starcross so it's now collectible. So for the Class 150, they updated brake rub sounds so it's louder at high speed and quieter at low speed. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was about to say, it definitely seemed a little bit off to me. Cannot wait to give that a go. Changed duplicated service 2E29 to 5P31 and changed duplicated service 2C04 to 2T08 in Journey Mode. Fixed an issue with the door stuck train fault, and fixed an issue causing AI Class 150s to use the wrong headlights. We only have one for Class 52, separate add-on required to run on Riviera. They fixed numbering on Class 52 Rail Tour and added Western Western Champion nameplate. For the Class 220 Voyager, they updated L and R cab door to be locked by default, fixed an issue causing the emergency brakes to be applied when loading in a save, and tweaked the diesel engine stall fault issue so it doesn't appear as often. Yes, thank you. That's probably one of the biggest ones for me, honestly, were the engine faults on that 220, though I was receiving them pretty frequently on the 150 as well. All right, we have another long list here for Leipzig to Dresden. Increased draw distance at Oschatz and Dahlem. Added missing lettering on the roof at the Niederwörther hydropower plant. Replaced the yellow road markings with white at Engelsdorf. Improved clutter and foliage in bridge area around 26 kilometers into the route. Fixed an incorrect shelter light at Engelsdorf station. Fixed a visual issue with Niederwörther hydropower plant. Fixed an issue causing rain to fall through certain areas. Fixed an issue causing passengers to clip into the platform and get stuck. They fixed certain passenger spawn points. They fixed an issue causing players to get stuck when walking between tracks. Fixed an area of darkness in the shelter at Dresden. Fixed a checkered texture issue near a segment sign at Neustadt. Fixed the draw distance of the footbridge at Priestowitz. Fixed an issue causing cars to spawn on the level crossing at Stetsch. Fixed invalid signals for layered EZK59421 service. Removed incorrect PIS display mount at Priestowitz. Removed a tunnel placeholder at sign 52 near Leipzig, and localization improvements. We have one for the DBBR442 improved braking when driving from cab 1 to stop them from dragging. I hope they plan on fixing the journey mode for Leipzig to Dresden, because when you play the 442 services in journey mode, it gives you the wrong version of the 442 and not the updated one with updated suspension physics and audio, and also you can't hear the safety systems. Sadly, that wasn't addressed here, so I really hope to see that looked into. Doesn't seem like that would be a very hard fix for them. Now for the DBBR294, they added the brake apply sound, added the brake computer hum sound, added additional fan controller for the engine fan, added functionality to start engine fan when the diesel engine is running, and added animation to the fan section of the fan controller. Now for the Morristown Line, New York and Hoboken to Dover, they added better lighting across Morristown so there are less areas of severe darkness. They added air brake sounds to the multi-level cab cars, fixed an issue stopping announcements appearing in multiple platforms at Hoboken, fixed an issue causing announcements to overlap at Mount Tabor, fixed an issue causing PIS to have low draw distance at close range. That was a big issue for me and has really irritated me the last couple of days while I've been capturing footage for something, so happy that's fixed. Fixed an issue causing passengers to get stuck at Highland Avenue, fixed snow textures around Maplewood and Denville during a snowstorm, fixed a railing causing passengers to get stuck at Dover Station, fixed areas of darkness in suburban areas near Dover, fixed an issue with flickering gravel textures at Orange Station, fixed/grounded floating OHLE poles at Chatham Station and Short Hills, fixed a collision issue at Hoboken Terminal, fixed an incorrect texture at Hoboken Terminal, fixed a floating fence at Hoboken Terminal, and removed invisible wall that was appearing on the lower level of multi-level cab cars. Thank you. I was also having that same issue, but not on the lower level, the higher level. I've always had issues with these cab cars. Even on New York Trenton, sometimes it won't let me walk up the stairs. Sometimes I'll get all the way upstairs and it won't let me halfway through the coach. And then when I try going downstairs, it won't let me go downstairs. There's always these invisible points in those darn multi-level coaches. I honestly hate them. I really do, because they're just so bugged and the lighting inside them has never really been that good to me. Oh, I would much rather have the common cars. I cannot pray for the day we get those. All right, we're on to the New Jersey Transit Aero 3, and I'm looking for a specific bug here. They updated a light fuse issue to show on Aero 3. They fixed an issue with the brake indicators not displaying properly, fixed an issue with the door stuck train fault, and removed the ability to use the reset plug as it shouldn't be usable. Oh, I'm a little sad. Nothing here about the ton of Aero 3 services that either start on unelectrified track or take you onto unelectrified track. That should definitely be fixed, so crossing my fingers that's in the next patch. For ALP46, they added voltage change and phase gap button functionality and updated the ALP46 AI so they no longer have their headlights on when being trailed. For the ALP45DP, replaced incorrect ATC speed upgrade sound with an access system beep. Improved suspension physics, fixed an issue causing the game to crash when restarting or loading a service, fixed the brake indicator when the parking brake is applied, fixed an issue that was causing the traction motors to cut out. Yes, I was waiting for that one. They fixed an issue causing the traction lock to trigger when loading the Rosa rescue scenario from the previous save, fixed a volume issue with the horn, fixed an issue causing door stuck train fault to appear as this hasn't been added to the ALP45DP, and removed traction lock from triggering when using dynamic brakes. Yes to that one as well. There's one here for Dresden to Risa. They fixed an issue stopping announcements from appearing on the BR411 for services involving Leipzig add-on. So that is everything included in this second major patch for TSW6. More updates are already on the way, and Dovetail is continuing to tackle some of the biggest issues players have reported since launch. There were a few other clarifications added after the patch notes, of course, while I was editing this video, so I'm glad I went back online to grab my screenshots and check. DTG Chris writes, in addition to the above, I'd like to highlight the following fixes. So on all platforms, the free starter pack upgrade links for TSW6 bundles now link to the correct store page with the correct price, and on Xbox for Horseshoe Curve and Clinchfield Railroad, texture issues have been resolved. Harry also jumps in with a quick clarification. Riviera Line Dullish Sea textures are still present on console. We are working to resolve this issue, but the textures are fixed on Steam. So after recording the patch overview, I decided to jump back into the game and test a few things myself because I also wanted some footage for this video, and the results were not good. It seems like the faults, at least on the Class 150, have somehow gotten even worse than they already were since this update. As you can see from the footage of this video, I am running service 2T19 from Exmouth to Paignton, and within just 6 minutes of driving, I think I already had like 6 or 7 engine faults pop up with a door fault. I ended up sharing my feedback over on the forums, and sure enough, it looks like I'm far from the only one seeing this. Tons of new reports are coming in this morning about the same thing. Constant engine faults on the Class 150, sometimes every few seconds. That is just unacceptable. Like, it is just so broken. And it is so sad and disappointing that, you know, this launches like this and patches make it worse instead of better. It's gotten to a point where I'm honestly afraid to drive anything else right now with it turned on. I might really just turn random faults off for a month or two until it's sorted, because it seems like we're one step forward and 2 steps back now. Let me know what you guys think about this patch in the comments. Do you feel like they're addressing the right areas, or are there still things that need fixing first before all of what we saw here? I definitely want to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy rail simming.